This weekend I played Diablo 4 and of course Diablo Immortal. So today I thought I'd give you guys a side-by-side impressions of both and kind of compare them. Now first, a few things I want to get out of the way here. My intention here on this channel is to not drop Diablo Immortal for Diablo 4, and that kind of played into how much I played Diablo 4 this weekend while I was playing. So I only played on the initial day of Diablo 4 being available inside of its beta. I played as the Barbarian and I quite enjoyed the game. I thought it was done extremely well. Now I was kicked out of the game during my live stream multiple times because of overpopulated servers or whatever issues Blizzard was having. So my time inside of the game was limited to probably 2 hours of actual gameplay. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. While I've played hundreds of hours of Diablo Immortal, I only played 2 hours of Diablo 4, but I figured a little comparison would be fun to do here on the channel. Now keep in mind, guys, this channel really focuses on mobile ARPG and game experiences, right? So my lifestyle doesn't really fit with me switching over to a PC title that I'm gonna have to no life all day long every day to create content. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that I don't have the time to boot up my computer and to play for 4 hours a day, if not more. Probably it would be difficult for me to do that even 2 to 3 hours per day on a regular basis. So Diablo Immortal more fits my lifestyle. I could play in more casual settings, I could jump in quicker, and I could get little bits of content and play along. So I like that. But if we're comparing Diablo 4 to Diablo Immortal, I think the only way that I could make this comparison if I were to compare it as if it were mobile, right? Which isn't exactly fair. When we talk about monetization alone, I mean, you're gonna have to pay 60 bucks for Diablo 4 while Diablo Immortal is free, but you could spend thousands of dollars in Diablo Immortal where you will not be able to pay thousands of dollars in Diablo 4. So it is definitely not an apples to apples comparison. But when I look at the gameplay and what the game has to offer, the graphics, the smoothness, the experience, I actually enjoy what Diablo 4 has more than what Diablo Immortal has. And of course the graphics are going to be better. You can't compare a game that's on the phone to a game that's on a high quality, solid running PC. It's just going to be different. So we can't even really compare graphics there. But I do want to talk about maybe more the experience inside of the game, right? I want to talk about what it's like playing, what the open world is like. And as you can see right here, I'm playing with DM and we hopped into a dungeon, and the world here is just massive. It's just so much more grand than Diablo Immortal. So they're both considered MMORPGs, like basically open world experiences where you could run into other people, random people in an open world. Diablo Immortal, being a mobile experience, is just a much smaller open world. As I was in Diablo 4, I really felt like I was in a massive space where I could go around and just explore and not have set objectives and kind of find things to do along the way. I was able to go and explore and find dungeons as we're running it right now, and find enemies that'll drop things that I want to, and at any point in time teleport back to town, get rid of what I want, upgrade what I need to, and kind of just keep moving on. In addition to this, the skill system is really cool. It's definitely more advanced than that in Diablo Immortal. The skill tree is like I guess the best way to describe it, it's like a light version of a Path of Exile skill tree where you're going to be using points to progress things, kind of more like a Paragon tree is done inside of Diablo Immortal, but even more beefy than that. So that's something else worth mentioning. I just like how it's done. Now we ran into this boss, the Butcher. Man, you're going to see me die a few times here. This Butcher was difficult, but it was so fun. Me and DM just running through this dungeon. We have a random boss spawn like this, and we had to strategize on how we can take this guy down, right? Figuring out where the respawns were happening, figuring all that out, and then working together to actually be able to take down the boss. It was just a really fun experience. The working with other people played really well and did really well inside of Diablo 4. Now, not saying that it doesn't do well inside of Diablo Immortal, because in Diablo Immortal, there's tons of opportunities to play with other players as well. You have dungeons, you have rifts, you have PvP, you have open world events that you could do with people. So it really is nice. And I think that as I titled this video, Diablo 4 versus Diablo Immortal, I knew that it's not a direct comparison, because you really can't compare the two. I mean, you can, but it's not really, you know, a fair comparison. So I think what I'm gonna say here is, if Diablo 4 was a mobile game and Diablo Immortal was a mobile game, and take out all of the outside stuff, I would probably be playing Diablo 4, but it's not a mobile game. And would people spend $60 on a mobile game, or would they only get the free one and have to deal with all the microtransactions? There's so many different things to talk about there. But what I do think is important here is that both the games are really good. I still play Diablo Immortal every single day. We're playing between 1 and 3 hours a day, just enjoying as a casual grinder in the game. And yes, I consider myself a casual grinder with that much time investment. For example, yesterday I had football practice for my son, and then a basketball end of season event where we had a good time, and I didn't get to game at all yesterday. I did not log into Diablo Immortal, and that was another reason why I didn't get to play Diablo 4 on the final day. I did not even turn it on besides that first day. Now, I believe it comes back next weekend or in 2 weekends with the Necromancer and another class, the Druid or something. So I'm looking forward to trying it again. I will be trying the Necro, and I will stream that as well, because I definitely do like Diablo 4. It just is not something that fits me as a content creator. Like, imagine this whole YouTube channel being like my business, or if you have a small business like a restaurant, that's your work. The YouTube channel is my work, right? And I know that working as Diablo Immortal being the focus of the work just probably wouldn't fit very well for me, mostly because of a time standpoint. But if you're a PC gamer, you can't go wrong playing Diablo 4. It is going to be the best action RPG on PC. It really is. It looks incredible. It's already incredibly smooth. I think Blizzard did a really fine job on this one. I absolutely loved playing it, and I look forward to playing it again when another beta version comes out. And when it comes out, I will be buying the game, I will be playing the game, and I will make some content for the game, you know, a little bit here and there, but it's not going to be my primary content. As of this point in time, my primary content on this channel is going to be Diablo Immortal. That's going to be the game that I spend the majority of my time playing, and that I make the majority of my content about. So I want to know from you guys, maybe in the comments, we can get a little discussion going of what were some of your favorite things from the beta, whether you played it or saw people play it. I know there were a lot of streamers streaming Diablo 4 over this past weekend. And I honestly, when you talk about what were the complaints, the only complaints that I heard were that they were getting booted off because of these server issues, which obviously can't happen when the game is, you know, in full release. Can't be a thing, but right now it's not. I think it's it took forever to get into the game. I'm talking an hour plus, and then you would get booted out of the game, which was frustrating. But again, this is a beta, right? So these types of things have to get worked out. And I think besides that, if we ignore the connection issues and just talk about the gameplay experience, I had not heard any complaints about the game. I think that the community is excited about Diablo 4, and you know what? I don't think Diablo Immortal is going to die when Diablo 4 releases. I think there is going to be a massive community of gamers that stick with Diablo Immortal. One reason, they've spent money in the game, they've invested, they want to stay. Second reason, they like playing on mobile better than PC, someone like myself, because of how their life works. Third reason, a lot of players don't have the money to have a console or to have a PC that could play Diablo 4, so they are mobile gamers because that is the platform that they have. There's so many reasons why Diablo Immortal is going to continue to be the leading action RPG on mobile, even when Diablo 4 releases. I don't see it being a problem or competition in any way. Hope you enjoyed this. This is just initial overview and just my thoughts, kind of discussing my experiences in both. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe for tomorrow's video. I'll see you then.